Hello, we are live, and contrary to the normal, this stream will be in English because we have our guest, Frank Steven. Maybe some of you guys know him from YouTube. He's a big YouTuber from Nigeria. Hello, good evening, Frank.
Yeah, good evening. How are you? How is Finland? And how is everything going with you?
It's dark and we have potatoes, so we're not getting a lot of sun.
Yeah. You have somebody who is like in a dark room right now doing a live stream with you.
Yeah, so Frank just lost his electricity because it's Nigeria, and he's running a backup right now, and he'll put on the lights as soon as he gets his electricity back. But Frank, tell us, we don't know much about Nigeria. What is going on? Is Trump going to attack you guys?
Yeah, where do I begin? Nigeria is a great country, okay? Nigeria is a great country, the country of over 200 million black people. And that is all CNN wants you to remember. You know, as Trump is going into Nigeria right now, or talking about going into Nigeria, talk about starting like going in guns a blazing. If there's one thing that CNN and the likes want you to keep in mind is that this is the largest black nation on the planet, and imagine the racism of trying to kill Muslims who are wreaking havoc in Nigeria. So that's what CNN will want you to remember. But what any other sensible person who understands what is going on will tell you is that, yes, there is a genocide of Christians in Nigeria. Over 50,000 have been killed from 2009 till 2025. This year alone, over 7,000 people have been killed. That is 35 Christians a day. 35 Christians a day have been killed this year alone. And another thing that you will hear from CNN,
35 Christian Black Africans die every day because of who? Who is killing them?
Because, it's coming from Boko Haram, coming from ISWAP, from Ansaru, from Fulani militias, there's this new one that came out. Like, Nigeria has like startups for terrorists. Like, we have 22. You know, while you are in Finland, you're like, want to have this tech startup that I'm about to, launch and stuff like that. In northern Nigeria, you hear, we have this terrorist group we're about to launch. So in Nigeria, we have like terrorist groups. They are up to 22, actually, like known. Not and more to come. Like, I think the recent one I just launched.
Are they most Islamic, or do you have anything else?
They're all Islamic. They are all Islamic. They all shout Allahu Akbar when they are trying to cut off someone's head. When they attack, they all pray. They pray, they pray the way Muslims are pray. They pray the times Muslims pray, and they all have imams, that speak for them in the Nigerian media. In fact, there's one crazy imam that is popular. It's kind of the person who focus on in this live stream. That is Sheikh Gumi. He's like their spokesperson. So yeah, that is what is going on in the country, and that's the reality of what is happening.
Oh, who is Sheikh Gumi? Who is basically he is inciting these attacks in Nigeria, right?
I would say he is inciting them. Instead, I would say that he's supporting them. Sheikh Gumi has said in Nigeria, he has said that that bandits should be made. So many things that he has said. Where do I even begin? I think I have a couple of lists that I sent to you of some of the things.
Yeah, I'm just looking at the Guardian article. If you look at my stream, you can see allow bandits to guard our forests for peace to reign.
Yeah, he's saying, these bandits, if you want peace to reign, stop fighting them. That's kind of what he has. That is his advice to the Nigerian government. Stop fighting these bandits. If you want peace to reign, then, make them the guardian of the forest. The very place that they are terrorizing, make them guardians. Essentially, he's saying, you can remember when Democrats would say something like, if you want to stop illegal immigration, then
make them legal. Just make them legal.
Just make it. That's essentially what he's saying. These people have taken over the forest.
If you want to get rid of illegal drugs, just make drugs legal. If you want to get rid of Islamic terrorists, just make terrorism legal. Yeah. We get this.
Yes, that's what he's advocating for. Instead of fighting these people, why not just allow them to be the guardians of the places that they've taken over? The very forest he's talking about. Yeah, the very forest he's talking about are forests that they have taken over, forests that have become dangerous zones because of the wicked and horrific attacks and violence that have been committed by these militants, so to speak, or essentially these terrorists, these Islamic terrorists. So his suggestion is, why don't you just recognize them as the guardian of the forest?
Well,
so that,
what's the actual makeup of the Nigerian government right now? Because Trump has threatened the government to get their shit together with Islamic terrorists to stop the genocide of the Christians, right? So what is the role of the government and why it's not doing this? Or I've read articles about them opposing Trump on this suggestion. So what is going on in here?
With the Nigerian government is a very interesting case. First, the one of the problem that many people have recognized about the Nigerian government, which for me is kind of like the least of the problem, but one of the problems that have been recognized is the fact that the president of the country is a Muslim, the vice president is also a Muslim, so it's and it has never happened in the country before for a very long time. And that is kind of like one of the problems that has been recognized, but that is the least of the problem. The major problem with the Nigerian government, before just minus their response to the current statement by Donald Trump, the problem is that the government has been infiltrated by Islamic terrorists and their sympathizers. They have infiltrated the government. That is why it is going to be difficult to deal with the problem of Islamic terrorism in Nigeria, is because the Nigerian government is infiltrated. The vice president of the country, Shetima, one time they were looking for a notorious Boko Haram criminal that escaped from prison. And the criminal was found in Shetima's house. There have been instances of other northern leaders saying Shetima is the person who even founded Boko Haram. Although I kind of see that as maybe exaggerated, but he plays a major role. There is every reason to believe that Shetima played a major role. Yeah, that is the person I'm talking about. That is the guy, Kashim Shetima, the vice president of Nigeria. So when you have someone like Shetima in government, Sheikh Gumi, that we just talked about, his son is in the Nigerian army. Yeah. Okay. So when you look at that, a huge portion of the Nigerian army, a huge makeup of the Nigerian army are Muslims, right?
Yeah.
There is this retired army commander in Nigeria. He is retired. He's Abu Gaza is his username on Twitter, and this is somebody whose tweets are not that Abu Gaza. Go. Let me send you a link to his.
Oh, like Abu Gaza. I see him. This guy.
No, not that one. That's not him. Let me find him. Let me find him. Give me a second. Let me find him for you and send.
So what did he say?
He has said so many crazy stuff recently. Like he said, Christians are the problem in Nigeria, and they are the enemy of Allah. That's one of his famous. Yes, that's one of his famous statements. Christians are the enemy of Nigeria. The Christians are the problem in Nigeria, and that they are the enemy of Allah. He said that, and he said that. He has not deleted the tweet. Let me find it. Give me a second.
So talking about just a point to make, talking about the infiltration of the government by Muslims. We just had New York infiltrated by Muslims while they're looking for. What do you think about that?
Yeah, Muslims are infiltrators.
Muslims are infiltrators. I'm trying to be Nigerian. I'm not trying to be Nigerian. Wish I could go to just Nigeria and enjoy the sun instead of this darkness. Waiting for the link.
No, I'm coming. I'm looking for it. I'll find it very soon. I want to go to some of my live streams and what I have prepared for them. I think that's where I will find it.
I'm just gonna, while you're looking for it, I'm gonna show this video of this Kim Iverson that you sent me. I think she's American, right?
Yes.
And you think she's talking total shit. This is bullshit what she's saying. Let's watch the video and then you can tell us why it's bullshit.
Yeah. I found the link to what Abu Gaza said. You can see it on the list.
Okay. Let's watch Abu Gaza first. What's this?
It's not a tweet from him. See,
Nigeria, and they're the enemies of Allah.
Just click on his profile.
Look at this dude.
Look at his profile. What do you see on his profile? Go up. Just go up. Like the picture. Yeah. That is.
There's a Hamas role player in Gaza in Nigeria, and they're talking like this. Yeah, well, it's kind of obvious why the Boko Haram is killing, what they're doing. It's all so obvious. So obvious. There is this shade
accusing people, threatening all the world and one thing is an antichrist, because in the name of Christ, and he's saying.
What? If you want to watch what he said, or let's go back to Iverson and then we go to this guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, why do you think she's wrong? What has she done?
Let's play the video. You see why.
So Trump is threatening Nigeria with military action. This is the so-called America First anti-war government, right? But instead now we are threatening Nigeria with military action. I don't want anybody to think that, oh no, Trump is just now going to go and save Christians. We must save the Christians. This is not about the Christians. Donald Trump, he says, if the Nigerian government...
Who is it about then, if not the Christians?
That we'll hear from her. We'll hear her tell us who it is about.
Okay.
Government continues to allow the killing of Christians. The USA will immediately stop aid and assistance to Nigeria and may very well go into that now disgraced country, guns a-blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. This has been going on, however, since 2000.
So basically, Trump hasn't even threatened the Nigerian government, just the terrorists, right? But the government... But what I've read and heard is like the government has taken this as a threat against themselves. So are they admitting they're Islamic terrorists?
Officially, like official statement from the government have not shown that they are worried about it. Like the official statement from the government is essentially what Trump is saying is, like what Trump is accusing of course, some are saying Trump is saying that there is a genocide in Nigeria. And I'm like, read both of Trump's statements and even read the one. I even listened to what he said to the journalist. He didn't even talk about genocide. He said they are killing Christians in record numbers. Now, many of them have said, oh, but they are killing Muslims too. Trump did not say they are not killing Muslims. He said they are killing Christians in record number, and that cannot be allowed to continue. That's all he's saying. Whether you want to call it genocide or not, that Trump is not playing that word game with you. He's going straight into saying it is Christians that are being killed. And that is a fact that you cannot ignore, or a fact that you cannot dispute. Christians are being killed. You can say they are not being targeted. He didn't say they are being targeted. He said they are being killed. And that Christians are facing an existential threat. Now, of course, someone will say, based on what you've heard from people like Riley Moore and Ted Cruz, and from other people in the administration, there is the connotation that this is, alluding to the claim of, or the accusation of Christian genocide that these people have been levying against Nigeria. But Trump himself has not said that. So let's put that, let that be clear.
So what's so wrong about Trump wanting to kill Islamic terrorists? Why are Nigerians so riled up right now? Why is the government so riled up? Why are they not offering to help, for example, doing it?
So the official statement of the Nigerian government is, one, there is no Christian genocide. Two, the Nigerian government is doing its best. That's kind of like the second statement. And they say, according to what the government has put out, and also this is kind of true, that the attacks by Boko Haram and ISWAP and Ansaru, that's these three. Boko Haram used to be one group, but it's splitted into three groups. So you have ISWAP, Boko Haram, the original
and
one.
ISWAP is the ISIS of Nigeria.
Yes. Yes, Islamic State, West African province. So that's ISWAP. So you have Boko Haram, ISWAP, and Ansaru. They split into 3 factions. In fact, there's not a
And they're
fourth
all
faction.
the same. It's all the same. It's all Sharia. It's all jihad.
Yes.
Yeah,
So the government is saying that, yes, this terrorist group, this Boko Haram terrorist group, their attacks in Nigeria has reduced. From 2023 to 2025, they've been attacking lesser than they used to.
No, but they split up. They split up.
No,
just...
Let me explain what the Nigerian government is not pointing out. Yes, Boko Haram have not been attacking as much as they used to, but their attacks are now more fatal. In fact, here is the fact. The attacks from terrorists in Nigeria has reduced by 25%. But the fatalities from attacks from terrorists has increased by 6%.
How does that happen?
It happens because the terrorists are becoming more efficient. So let's say before, one attack, 10 people die. Now one attack, 20 people are dying. Do you understand? So, but that is one attack. It will be counted as one attack, but it led to the death of 20 people. While in the past, it used to lead to the death of 10. I don't know if you understand what the government is calling a win. Is that Boko Haram is becoming more efficient in killing people. They don't have to carry out 10 attacks to kill 10 people. Now they carry out 6 attacks and they end up killing 20 persons. So it's like I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. And that is what the Nigerian government is claiming as a win, that we are doing well to fight terrorism because now the terrorists are no longer attacking as often as they used to. Even though the fatalities from the attacks have increased because they are now more efficient. They now have better weaponry. They now have better strategy. They now know how to.
They have drones. They have rocket launchers. They have everything. Yeah.
Yes, what they have now they don't need to use machetes anymore to just kill only 15 people. Now they can use rocket launchers and kill 50.
Yeah. And where does the Boko Haram or ISIS in Nigeria, where do they get their guns from? Who is giving them guns?
That is the problem. Like we don't know. Some claim that they get their guns from Libya because there's this illegal arms trade that takes place in Libya.
And slave trade also in Libya.
Yes. And of course, you know that Boko Haram is into kidnapping people and some of them are yet to return.
And they're selling them for Arabs. Yeah,
so if you put 2 and 2 together, it will give you 4. Anyways, one other possible ways that usually Boko Haram there have been reports of Boko Haram taking over Nigerian military barracks, an entire barracks taken over by Boko Haram. And when that happens, they take the ammunitions there. And that is ammunition that is sold to the Nigerian military or to the Nigerian government by the United States. And what the Nigerian military used to get to buy those weapons are military aid given to them by the United States. So this is one of the reasons why Nigeria is being designated as a country of particular concern, is that you guys are so not good at this that the weapons we are sending you is ending up in the hands of Boko Haram.
But do you think sometimes it's not a mistake? It's not an accident that some of these weapons are actually sold by the army or smuggled by the army to the terrorists? Is that possible?
Some reports we've gotten from soldiers that are bold enough to talk about it, or even some go say it anonymously, reporting to news stations in Nigeria that are interested in sharing the truth, is that so many times, many of these soldiers feel like there's this thing the Nigerian government does, which is they arrest Boko Haram terrorists and then rehabilitate them and integrate them into the Nigerian army.
Yeah. Good idea.
It's very great idea. That's how you fight insurgency. And many of these Boko Haram, many soldiers have complained that they don't trust these people, that many of these people, these repentant Boko Haram, these repentant terrorists have run away. Many of them have run back to Boko Haram. Many of them leak sensitive security information to Boko Haram.
So what kind of policy is that? What kind of policy is that? Okay, we have terrorists here, let's hire them. And then give them weapons, give them information, and then they just leave and go back to the terrorist group.
It's the policy of people who don't want to fix the problem. That's the policy. It's the policy of people who I mean, you need to understand that in this country, many of the political elites from the north, from the northern part of the country, Muslims and from the north, have said in the past that to attack Boko Haram is to attack the north. Some have even said that Boko Haram are our brothers and sisters. I know you see so many online right now saying that Boko Haram, they don't represent Islam. These are not Muslims. But in the past, what they have been saying is to attack Boko Haram is to attack Muslims, is to attack Islam, is to attack our brothers and sisters. And we should look at these people as our brothers and sisters. And that is why the government under Buhari came up with this idea of we are going to grant them amnesty. If they surrender, we are going to grant them amnesty, and then we are going to rehabilitate them and reintegrate them into society, or even integrate them into the military. Because of course they have yes, so it will be very helpful. So this just shows you that the government doesn't have really the desire to deal with this problem.
Would you say the Boko Haram's ideology of Sharia and ISIS ideology that is like the national identity of the northern Nigerian Muslims, the collective national identity of these people?
Yeah, I was about to get to that. I believe strongly that, well, it's not even a matter of like opinion. I think there is something that it will be safe to say that many people, many Muslims in the government share the same radical ideology with Boko Haram. They do 100%. Many of them have in the past boldly expressed it. There was the former Minister of Telecommunications, that's Ali Pantemi. I don't know if you've heard of this name, Ali Pantemi, who in the past said he said so many crazy things like, is it Ali Pantemi or Issa Pantemi? Yeah, Issa Ali Pantemi. Yeah, that is. Read that BBC. That BBC article.
Minister of Communications and Digital Economy Profile.
Yes. Yeah, Nigerian. This is BBC Pidgin.
Oh God, I was like, why the fuck it's like this? Jesus. No, not teaching. Normal English, please. Oh my God. Whatever, we can understand it.
Yeah, I can explain it to you. What this minister in the past has, shown support for Al Qaeda, shown support for the Taliban. Okay, said that he doesn't feel remorse when infidels are being slaughtered.
So he was an imam for 20 years.
Yeah, he was an imam. He was an imam.
So you have your communications minister is a guy who was an imam for 20 years.
And not just any kind of imam, a radical imam.
Oh, that's great. That's amazing.
And yes. So
how are you not in prison, Frank? How are you not in prison right now?
Because God loves me.
There's a literal imam as their communications minister, and you're shitting on Islam every day on YouTube. How is that possible?
God is God.
God is with you.
There was this other one what's his name? Bashir Ahmed worked for the past administration, and there is this deleted tweet from Bashir Ahmed that that is the person. That is, you can see
they all seem so friendly, Frank. They all seem so friendly.
Bashir Ahmed once tweeted that he's proud to be called an Islamic extremist.
Okay, and what is his role in the government?
In the past, I think he was a special advisor. I don't know what he was a special advisor for, but he was a special advisor.
President Buhari's aide.
It was. Yeah,
declares full support for military action against terrorists. Wait, he is.
Yeah, recently, he's like, yes, he wants Trump to.
Oh, he's supporting now. He's supporting Trump.
He's now like, I wholeheartedly support decisive military action, including bombing where necessary, against Boko Haram and any other terrorists who are killing innocent Nigerians. We do not shield or excuse terrorists. They have slaughtered our people and remain enemies of us all. This has been my stance all my life. You can see what people are saying in the comments. See pretender.
They don't really like him.
Yeah. Look at. I can't pretend to keep silent. I support the death penalty for blasphemy. That's a tweet from. That's a tweet from the guy.
Of course he do.
And if you go to his Twitter handle, if you go to Bashir Ahmed's Twitter handle and look for his old tweets before this one, you will see him opposing Trump sending me. You will see him opposing it. You will see him.
He's blocked.
You blocked him.
I don't. Why is he blocked?
Maybe he says, maybe you saw one of his pro, maybe you saw one of his pro-Palestine tweets and you're like, I can't stand this guy.
Zohran, don't inspire me. No. You will have my vote.
Just keep scrolling. You'll see places where he, this is somebody who has congratulated Zora Mamdani for winning. And but before just go down before you see some of the things he has been. No. Just down. You have to go really down, like down.
Okay, whatever. We know. So he's changed his mind suddenly.
I have no. Go up first.
What's up with this guy? Our serious chefs.
Just go to the 31st. The 31st. These are from 20. Go up, like don't go down. Go back to earlier tweets. Yes. Go down to earlier tweets.
Still earlier?
You're going to older tweets. I said earlier tweets. So you're going down instead of going up. Maybe I should say go up. Sorry. It is hard for me to find anyone who actually lives in the north that still holds a bad impression of the region, blah, blah, blah. No, not this one. Or did he delete those tweets?
I can't find anything it's all football shit.
And I reacted to them.
No. But
look, okay, this is it. You're looking at it now. We finally got into it. Finally, some of our countrymen, with the help of certain U.S. officials, have landed us in this mess. Now, he's talking about when Trump designated Nigeria a country of particular concern. Finally, some of our countrymen, with the help of certain U.S. officials, have landed us in this mess. Nigeria has almost solely relied on the United States in its fight against terrorism, purchasing majority of our sophisticated weapons for them. Now, with these new sanctions, how are we supposed to effectively confront the very same terrorists committing these atrocities? Then you go.
Oh, so he's not like, we're not okay. You're limiting our capabilities to fight terrorism because you fought so much against terrorism, right?
Yeah. Look, I have tried so hard to understand how this CPC classification will affect only the terrorists killing innocent Nigerians, but I can't understand. I would be the happiest person if this designation by the US targeted only the real culprits, the terrorists, their financiers, and their supporters. Unfortunately, it is the ordinary Nigerians who may find themselves at the receiving end of the consequences, unfortunately. Now, he said, if Nigeria is designated a country of particular concern and sanctioned, and the government is sanctioned, it's the people that will suffer. It will not affect the financiers and the supporters of terrorists who happen to be in the government. They will not be affected. It will be the citizens that will be affected. If you go up again, you'll see more of the things he has said. You see, he said list of countries, then just ignore this one and move to another. Just keep going. Yeah, you see. Go up again. This is the tweet where he's pretending to be patriotic.
We'll wake up and say that we're killing people when we're actually not doing the same. And guess what? Where the Giwa barracks you were talking about, we have all the humanitarian agencies working there. You have the UN working, local and international organizations are working. Are we saying they are complicit?
Maybe. Are they?
You tell me. Like, I don't understand the whole talk of, are you saying that, are you saying they are complicit? We are saying you are complicit. But that is not even a very important thing. I want to see what the caption is with this video that he shared and what he was trying to say here. He said, listen to the immediate past chief of defense staff while addressing the issue of killing of Christians. He said he simply could not understand why anyone would wake up and say we are killing people. I mean,
if nobody is admitting the killings, they don't happen.
Of course. There's one that I'm looking for where he was defending blasphemy and Sharia law. Why Nigeria appreciate this is from Minister of Foreign Affairs. Then he said most of those welcoming the wolves into their flock of sheep have learned nothing from not this one. There is one that I'm looking for. Here. This is it. Yeah. So a U.S. senator is now proudly declaring that they will target those who help implement Sharia law in Nigeria, as if practicing or supporting Sharia is a crime.
It is. It is terrorism. It's terrorism.
That is the one that I was looking for. This one where he was like a strong proponent of Sharia law. And remember that tweet where he was, that we just saw from that Facebook post, where he said he supports the death penalty for blasphemy. That is Sharia law in Nigeria. That is the provision for Sharia for blasphemy. The blasphemy law exists under Sharia law in this country. And that is what the US senator is saying. They want to sanction the states in Nigeria that practice Sharia law. And he's like, no. And he's here telling you, yeah, I want you to target those terrorists and destroy them. So just know that all this thing is him talking from both sides of his mouth. He's not interested in any of those things.
These people.
That is
You're free to oppose Sharia in your own country. Okay, get out of our countries then. Bye-bye. Like, Jesus.
That's the same person that is celebrating Zura Mamdani, by the way.
Oh, yeah, of course he is. Sharia is good. Sharia will be good for New York also. It's going to be wonderful. So
Let's go back
nice.
to Kim Iverson and all the
Okay.
wonderful
What this lady is saying so many truths right now.
2009, maybe even earlier. And Boko Haram, they're not going after Christians.
Oh, no. No. Boko Haram. The biggest victims of Islamic terrorism is always Muslims. Remember this, Frank. It's always the Islamophobia after it. You have to think about these things. It's not just the Christians dying in the hands of Boko Haram. Don't be racist.
That's how you know this woman. That's why I said this lady is very stupid. They're
Don't
not
be
going
racist.
after. No, who am I racist to?
Frank, we're gonna get flagged because of your racism. This live stream is gonna end because of your racism towards Boko Haram.
You this slide. I'm a black Nigerian. I cannot. Have you not had black people cannot be racist? I don't know if you've ever been told.
Okay. So, what's your opinion about Boko Haram not only killing Christians? Is that true? No,
that is obviously not true. You remember? Although we can look at some of them, I sent you like some of the reports, but let me just say,
yeah, we'll look at it. We'll look at it. Yeah.
If you look at a place like Goza, they will tell you that most of the attacks from Boko Haram happen in the north, and that in the north is a Muslim majority area in Nigeria, which is true. In the north is Muslim majority. The north has majority of the Muslim population in Nigeria are concentrated in the north. That is true. But you still have Christian communities in the north. You still have communities that are Christian majority, even in a Muslim majority country or Muslim majority area. You understand? You still have that in the north. So there are communities like in Borno State, which is the state that have been hit by Boko Haram repeatedly. In a state like Borno, Chibok is a Christian community. Goza is a Christian community.
So the Goza community in Borno insists on Christian genocide. They've had like over 140 churches, 148 churches, 49 churches burned. In what time? 10 years, 20 years time?
Yeah. And that is a small community. That's a small Christian community in Borno State. So yes, they are carrying out attacks and people who want to claim that Muslims are the majority of the attacks are on Muslims. What they use to justify the claim is this is happening in Muslim states. This is happening in Muslim states. And the question you should ask them is, but the community is what? Yes, it's happening in Muslim state, but the community in that Muslim state is majority what?
So their argument is like Boko Haram is terrorizing a Muslim state. So what's it's
It's like saying, imagine then that I say, for example, that Israel is killing, that when Israel is carrying out its war in the Middle East or whoever they are attacking in the Middle East, that they are killing Jews. Yeah. And you ask, why do you say they are killing Jews? You say, Israel is a Jewish state and it's most of the population of Israel is Jewish. But no, the people that they are targeting, you point out to me rightly that Gaza, a small area in Israel, is the people that are there are Palestinians. You will point that out to me. That is the same ridiculousness when you say Boko Haram is attacking, is operating in a Muslim area. But the very places where they target their attacks on are the Christian communities. Those are the people that get to flee. Those are the people that have to run.
The lady is
for
talking
their
out of his ass, out of her ass.
So that is the lie there that they're just targeting. Yes, I'm not saying that Muslims don't get killed. Of course, Muslims will get killed. Okay? And the Muslims that they often target, whenever they target Muslims, are Muslims that they consider to be liberal. Those are the people that the Quran call munafiqs,
Not
the hypocrites.
Muslim enough. Not Muslim
Yeah,
enough.
they're not Muslim enough. They don't support them. Those are the Muslims that they attack. But Muslims that are like, yeah, go on, we support you. They leave them alone.
Yeah, I don't
There
think
is
they're
this-
attacking imams. They are not attacking the sheikhs.
No. And then there
No.
was this, I remember this, there was this stuff that so many people started posting online recently to counter the fact that Muslims are killing Christians in Nigeria. They brought up this article where an imam in Plateau State saved the lives of 300 Christians by hiding them in his mosque when militants, Islamic militants, came and attacked the community. So they're like, you see, look at this Muslim man. This Muslim imam, he saved over 300, close to 300 Christians by hiding them in the mosque. That shows you that Muslims are kind and Muslims save Christians and Muslims love Christians. And the question is, why were they safe in his mosque and not in their church? Why was he safe? It's like saying, look, the Nazis are good because some Germans hide the Jews in their basement. Do you
Nazis
understand?
are good, yeah. Yeah.
Yes, it's like Nazis. The Nazis were not bad. Ask some Germans.
Because Schindler was good, so Nazis must be good also.
Exactly. So
Okay.
so that is a ridiculous argument. It is not true. It is not true
They're
that.
Let's continue. Let's see.
Sorry, one more thing that I want to point out that Kim Everson does not know is that majority of the killings are not even carried out by Boko Haram. They are carried out by Fulani militants. They are the ones doing most of the killings.
So if people don't know Fulani, or they call them tribesmen, Fulani tribesmen and militants, but you're saying that they're just Muslims.
They are Muslims. They shout Allahu Akbar like Boko Haram. They do the same thing like Boko Haram. They are well coordinated like Boko Haram. But they are known as Fulani headsmen or Fulani bandits or Fulani militias or Fulani militants. But they are just Fulani Muslim people. Yeah. And those are the people that are carrying out most of the terrorist attacks in Nigeria. So even if we grant you that Boko Haram, and here's the funny thing, Fulani militias are not operating in the north. They are operating in the middle belt, or what we call in Nigeria the Bible Belt. That is the places where Christians are, the states where Christians are. Is where Benue State, Plateau State. That is the places that they are attacking.
So this belt, you have Sudan, Chad, Mali, Mauritania, and this is like the Fulani area, right?
Yes.
You have a lot of them, not only in Nigeria, but you have these people all around Africa.
Yeah, the Fulani tribe is like scattered across Africa. So it's not like you find them in, like, although they give you this map and say this is where you can find them, yes, but they are not like concentrated in that area. They are scattered across that area. Because most of them live nomadic lives. So they're like Bedouins. They move from one area to another. So even though, this is the places you find them, but they are not concentrated. They are kind of scattered.
Yeah, I guess they're like scatters around here. Some in Somalia, some in here, like all over.
Yes.
All over Africa. Okay, let's continue this video. Let's see what this lady is saying.
Going after everybody. They have been killing Muslims, Christians, you name it. They kill everybody. They kill anybody who's not them. So let's talk about how this has to do with China. China has been investing a ton of money.
But why do they kill everybody who is not like them? What do you have to be not to get killed? What is it?
Muslim.
Exactly. So what is she talking about?
Into Nigeria and their Belt and Road Initiative. In 2025 alone, this year alone, China has dumped a fortune into Nigeria. In late October 20.
If they kill any person who is not them, then what are they doing to those people that they are killing? Is it something that starts with G and ends with E?
Maybe if it's
Something to think about.
No. But no, it's not in Gaza, so it cannot be.
It's
It has to be in
genocide.
Gaza. It has to be in Gaza because G and G, Gaza and genocide, it works together, you know. But for you,
Well,
it's kind of
The
different.
G. The G in Nigeria looks like it stands for genocide at this point.
2025, Nigeria and China signed a major $3.5 billion
So what's up with China? You sent me some links about China
First of all,
chining in.
Yeah, she said that there's this $1 billion deal that China has made with Nigeria. And let's listen to all the things she wants to say about China, so I can just refute all of
investment
them.
partnership. This agreement focuses on boosting Nigeria's infrastructure, energy, and manufacturing sectors, including the construction of new solar power plants, modernization of rail lines, connecting major cities, and
Don't buy shit from China. They will always promise you all of this. They will promise. They have gone to every African country. They've promised these things, and in the end, you notice that the place is full of Chinese, and they own you. You're their slaves.
Just play. Let her finish. You know,
and expansion of industrial parks. They're doing a bunch of infrastructure and dumping a bunch of money into Nigeria. At the end of October of 2025, China reiterated its commitment to deeper cooperation with Nigeria as part of its new 15th five-year plan. This includes aligning Chinese economic strategy with Nigeria's development priorities, particularly in areas like infrastructure, agriculture, digital technology, and green development. They've dumped a total of $21 billion in construction deals in Nigeria in the first half, actually, of 2025. 21 billion in construction deals. And suddenly now, the Trump administration is saying, we care about Christians who've been slaughtered, by the way, for over 15 years. Suddenly, we care about the Christians. We're going to go in there and we're going to blow stuff up.
All right. So she thinks it's like an opposition to China now to be interested in Nigeria.
True.
Okay.
Yeah. First of all, if you notice, there's something that she did not mention. She did not mention all the Chinese companies that have had to leave Nigeria in the past 2 years because of how horrible the economy is, and how many of them have made deals with the government and have to pull out of those deals because the government have not fulfilled their own end of it. She's not mentioning that. She's not mentioning the fact that Nigeria owes China $5 billion in debt. And, more is accruing. She's not mentioning that. But more importantly, she's not mentioning that Chinese nationals in this country are notorious for one thing amongst many others: illegal mining. Whenever there's an illegal mining raid in Nigeria, and you hear in the news that foreign nationals were caught in an illegal mining ring in Nigeria, it's Chinese nationals.
So basically, they're not saying anything against these Chinese illegal mining companies. But if Trump is saying we're going to protect the Christians, they're going to make up things like, Trump wants to steal our mines and our oils and all of that. But actually, China is stealing them already.
Here's the interesting thing. Many of these areas in Nigeria that has insecurity issue, that has Fulani headsmen and all whatnot, or Boko Haram, many of these areas have those minerals and those mining sites that are being exploited by the Chinese. So what happens is that
basically the China is agitating more of Islamic terrorism.
These bandits take over these areas, like in Benue and in Plateau State and in Kwara State. They take over these areas, and then they allow the Chinese to come into those areas and mine. And then when the Chinese are done mining, they pay the Fulani terrorists. And then the terrorists use the money that they get to buy more weapons. So if you're looking for one of the financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, we are talking about these Chinese nationals. And it's not, there is one article that I sent to you. Maybe let me see which of them.
So what do you think, even though the USA comes to Nigeria and is like, okay, we want to mine, we want to oil, we want to do all of this, who do you think would do it better and more legal? The Chinese or the USA?
Of course, it will be the United States. And the United States has not shown any interest. This is the funny part. The United States have not shown any interest in our minerals or our natural resources or any of that. They really have not shown any interest. It's not like, oh, we don't have enough, and now we are looking to get into Nigeria to. I mean, since 2022 or so, the United States have been sending approximately $1 billion in aid to Nigeria in exchange for nothing. In exchange for
Does
nothing.
China do that? Does China do that? Does China give you aid for nothing?
No, they don't even give aid. Aid for what? Why are they aiding you? If they come in, they say they want to sign a contract. They want you to do this contract with them. They want you to do this deal with them. They want to give you. They want to lend you this money, and they want you to pay back. Meanwhile, the United States is just giving Nigeria free money. Essentially, I know people always say aid. There's always something attached to it. Other than having a partner in West Africa, there is nothing else that the United States gets from those aid. It's just let us have a partner in West Africa, and if we give Nigeria this aid money, the only thing is secure is just strategic partnership. Like you have an ally in West Africa. That's it. There's nothing else that they've gained from giving aid. Like they've benefited. Like the United States have benefited by virtue of giving almost at this point $5 billion. If you put all of them together, $5 billion in aid to Nigeria.
So at the same time, Nigeria is owing money. You owe money to China, and the USA is giving you free aid money that you're giving to China.
So you can see the whole talk about they want your natural resources is an insult. Like it's insulting to the United States when they say this, and I find it like you guys just keep quiet. This is a statement that was released by the ambassador. Who was the? No, that's not the part that is worth reading. Just the next paragraph is what is worth reading. Yes.
China firmly supports the Nigerian government in leading its people to a development path that fits Nigeria's national realities. We oppose any country's interference. Of course, they don't want the US to go in to kick the terrorists out so that their illegal mining operations could continue.
If the US launches a drone strike, a precise targeted drone strike on a terrorist base in Nigeria, when you go to count the dead bodies, you might find a Chinese person amongst them.
Oh no!
Let's just say that you might find a Chinese person.
What were you doing there? What were you doing there in the beginning? So it's kind of you have to ask the Chinese. You have to ask the Chinese how Chinese are fighting terrorist groups to gain access to mineral reserves in Nigeria. So this is why they oppose. This is why they don't want the USA to go in. And this is why they're blaming the USA that they want our minerals. They want our minerals because they're already inside the country. They're already taking all of these minerals. So they're projecting their concerns that if you come in, you kill the terrorists, and you save the Christians from genocide, you're also going to take our mines, our illegal terrorist mines.
Exactly.
It's obvious, isn't it?
This link that I sent to you is like the heading under the link is illegal mining. You should check that link and also check the link of more mining. And also check the one that I said from Oshomole and from Shehu Sani and from Bashir Ahmed. All the links that I have there, just check all of them and read them. Just read it to your audience and see the interesting thing happening in this great country. Scroll down a little bit. All these places like introductory.
The country is endowed with an estimate of 700 billion in commercially viable minerals with the capacity. Oh my God,
Start with the paragraph that said in April 2020. Just start with that. That's the paragraph where you start. It's down. In April 2020, you can see do you see that paragraph there? Yes, that one.
Arrested the two Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining in Bukuyum local government, where the federal government had banned all mining activities to curb killings by armed bandits. So they just continue with.
Why did the government ban mining? Because they wanted to come armed bandits. Yes, Chinese nationals, we are mining. How were they able to mine? Because the bandits allowed them.
They paid the bandits.
Yes. Read the next one in September 2022. No, before the next. It's still in the first paragraph before you get to that one. Yeah, in September 2022.
A Chinese national were arrested by Economic and Financial Crimes Commission operatives in Ilor and Kwara states, and this is north or middle Nigeria.
That's northwest. It's northwest, bordering between northwest and southwest.
In possession of a truckload of minerals suspected to be lepidolite. What is lepidolite? You need for phones and shit, right? You need this stuff for lithium batteries and lithium bearing memory. Yes, you need this for like phone batteries.
Yeah.
EFCC arrested 13 more Chinese nationals for allegedly engaging in illegal mining activities. Closed down an illegal mining company operated, but there's a lot of Chinese things going on. Why are we not? Why doesn't our Western media talk about this? How the Chinese are actually operating illegal mines in Nigeria all over the place.
Why doesn't Kim Iverson talk about that? Why doesn't she mention that? Like, you know, her Iverson or however her name is pronounced. Why doesn't she even mention this? Like, why doesn't she mention, oh, China is also mining illegally? You know, this are not the natural resources in Nigeria. China is illegally mining them and exploiting them illegally without license.
So they're just blaming the USA for what they're already doing.
What they're already doing, essentially. If you check the next link that I sent, you also see more instances of it.
More mining. In Nigeria, Chinese mining drives conflict, human rights abuses. No shit. Children, women, everybody participating in this nice hobby.
Yeah, to give it to the Chinese.
And to give it to the Chinese, $700 billion worth of minerals. You give it to the Chinese because they build you a dock with your own money. And then you owe them money, and then they come and take your minerals.
They take your minerals, they use it, they get money, they send it to you as loan.
But the USA, Donald Trump is bad because they give you free money.
Yes, Donald Trump is the guy. Donald Trump is the bad guy. For the Chinese don't send, when Nigeria want to buy ammunition, they don't buy from the Chinese, they buy from the United States. You know.
Maybe for a reason. The proceeds don't just fund AK-47s, they pay for informants, brides, and logistic networks that can outlast military operations. So together with Islamic terrorists, the Chinese people are robbing your country, and when the West wants to stop this from happening, now Donald Trump is bad from trying to invade your country.
And this is not just journalists saying this. There are people in the current administration who has said this in the past. Like one of the links that I said from Oshomole is one of those people saying it.
Let's see. For Oshomole, let's say, what is this guy saying? Nigerian senator accused China of stealing Nigerians' resources, arming bandits and terrorist groups to protect their illegal mining sites. Now, the same China is speaking out against President Trump and America for standing up against ongoing killings of Christians in Nigeria. So they are super hypocrites. They just don't want you to stop what the Chinese people are doing, right?
Those involved in illegal
play. Let's listen to.
Yeah.
Those involved in this illegal mining, they use choppers. They procure arms exactly the same way as our military were doing in the South. They give them arms. They use choppers to come and cut away the gold. And they take them out of this country and make...
So you mean helicopters, choppers?
Yeah, they use choppers. They come take the gold.
Billions of US dollars.
Billions.
And the federal government is not doing what it should be doing. I took this letter to the former president when I was national chairman of APC. And I said, call the general to give you more brief. In fact, what is happening or what subsequently happened in that part of the country was exactly what the general told me was going to happen. Because these guys have been weaponized by the illegal big men who deploy them, secure territories, and the weapon is meant to protect the Chinese and other foreigners who they actually employ to carry out the mining. And on occasion, they use the same weapon to carry out to carry out banditry, kidnapping, and all of the terrible things that are going on.
This is
Chief of Committee Chairman of the.
This is former chairman of APC. The current admin is like the former chairman of the DNC saying this. This is like the former chairman of the APC. The APC is like the DNC in the United States. The former chairman of the APC is saying this, saying, I spoke with the generals. They told me about this. Look at the next one from Shehu Sani. Listen, before you read what Shehu Sani has to say, listen, that's his tweet from the past. Before we read his tweet from the past, let's look at what the person is responding to that Shehu Sani said recently. Look at what Shehu Sani said. China has proven to be a faithful and unwavering ally and friend of Nigeria. It is a country that has opened its doors to our citizens and made available its resources for our infrastructure. Despite our people being denied visas and deported from other countries, even within Africa, it refuses to accept the stigmatization of our country as one of drug and cyber criminals. This is well appreciated and should not be taken for granted. Chinese solidarity and voice for our sovereignty at this time will forever be noted in our history. I wish to appeal to China not to emulate the policy of assessment of people's social media history before granting them visa, and I wish to appeal to my countrymen not to compel them towards that direction. Now, look at
China does this. He actually thinks Chinese people are not racist as fuck. He actually thinks Chinese people will come to your country and give you solidarity.
This guy some of the things he said there is just stupid. You know that one of the drug problem that is happening in the United States, the people responsible for it are the Chinese, right? You know and then he's saying, oh, well, thank God that the Chinese people are not stigmatizing Nigeria as a country of drug criminals.
Why would they stigmatize
drug criminals? They too are drug criminals. Maybe some of the drugs that even end up on your streets are coming from the Chinese. Have you ever considered that? So they are partners. It's like, why other people are calling us criminals? A fellow criminal is not calling us criminals. That's kind of what he said. Now look at what he said in the past. While African illegal illegal migrants are moving to Europe for menial jobs like street vendors, agric workers, cleaning, caregiver, security guard, or delivery services, Chinese illegal migrants are moving to Africa for illegal mining of our gold, tin, lithium, tatalite, zinc, and lead, and engaging in internet fraud. Who among the two is actually searching for greener pastures? This is his tweet from this year.
What's the point of that? What's the point of the tweet?
He's complaining about what the Chinese is doing in Nigeria or doing in Africa. And this was from earlier this year, 13th of January 2025. He said, look, people are saying that African migrants are searching for greener pastures, but it is actually the Chinese that are looking for greener pastures. That look at what their illegal migrants are doing in Africa. They are going here stealing our natural resources. And
maybe he got some money now. He changed his position after getting some money.
Look at Bashir Ahmed, somebody we looked at earlier. And just go down to the tweets that Bashir Ahmed is saying about China.
China has the most illegal miners. Thank you, China.
Thank you, China, is what he was saying. In response
China rejects the US's threats against Nigeria. Well, of course you do. Of course you do.
This is the same person who tweeted that he's in support of the United States going in and
So what is basically going on? What we're not being told is there is an actual resource proxy war going on in Nigeria between China and the USA. This is what's actually going on.
Or this is how they want to paint it. I don't think Nigeria is, I don't think the USA is even interested in those natural resources. I really genuinely believe that the United States is genuinely interested in the lives of Christians. I believe that it is good for Trump. Trump is doing that because...
Isn't it also like in the interest of the US to stop China getting all of these illegal minerals? And
yes,
because one of the like major things that the US has is being what's that country? Not China, but the The one they don't like. Taiwan, yeah. So the US is allies with Taiwan, and Taiwan has a lot of these chips that gets produced with minerals that the US gives them and all of that, and China is not able to produce these. So you think there's like a also some kind of a goal to maybe stop these Chinese illegal mines, because when you stop the terrorists, you stop these Islamic terrorists, they're not going to be able to protect these mines, and it's going to disrupt the Chinese resource gathering.
Yes. Essentially, what if you go after the terrorists, you go after China's access to Nigeria's natural resources. That is the truth. That is why you see from growth.
Yeah.
That China has the most illegal miners in Nigeria based on repeated arrest of Chinese nationals across states like Zamfara, Ogun, Akwa Ibom. Reports from sources such as ISS Africa and ENACT highlights dozens of such incidents since 2020, often involving gold and lithium extraction without licenses. While locals dominate overall illegal mining, foreign participation skews heavily towards China, fueling conflicts and environmental damage.
So they're destroying your environment. They're funding terrorists. They're stealing your resources. They're lending you money and then wanting it back. So what is your opinion about the Chinese? What is your personal opinion about the Chinese people, what they're doing in your country?
It's better to deal with the United States than to deal with China. China is not interested in the unity of Nigeria or the betterment of Nigeria. It's just, let's get the resources. That is what China is about. China is not releasing this statement because they care. China does not care about Christians. That one is a fact. They persecute Christians. They arrest Christian pastors when they find them. The funny thing about the Muslims that are praising China is that even Muslims in China are arrested. They are put in concentration camps. So if you are like China is the
do you think China cares about Muslims?
They don't care about what. That's why they don't care about Muslims. They don't. And many of the Muslims that are telling China, thank you. What about how they treat you? This is one of the reasons why I say that the biggest enemy of Muslims are other Muslims. The biggest enemy of a Muslim is Islam. The biggest enemy of a Muslim is other Muslims. You know, Muslims will say the majority of people that are being killed by Boko Haram is Muslims. Yeah. And it's Muslim or Muslim. Muslim killing Muslim. Muslims are now supporting China. China is known for attacking Muslims. When China was supporting Hamas in the war in Gaza and speaking against Israel, Muslims were cheering them on, forgetting that, you know, this same country, this is how they have a reputation for how they treat Muslims. I mean,
China was backing Gaza also. China was backing Gaza, I guess.
China said Islam is a mental illness. That is the Chinese government's policy on Islam. It's a mental illness. And they will treat, if you're a Muslim, they'll treat you as somebody who is mentally ill. Those are the people that Muslims in Nigeria and in other parts of the world are like, yes, go China.
That's crazy. We have to work way out of mess created by ourselves in this time. There was no contributing on there. Was like, so basically every African, let's say every East African country is getting totally dominated by China at this moment.
All over Africa, especially places that are rich in natural resources. And yes, people are always saying, oh, it is the Americans that are coming to steal our natural resources. It's so ridiculous when they do that. I'm like, China is everywhere. They have their tentacles everywhere. Most of the mining going on in Congo, it's Chinese. That is the Chinese that are operating those mining sites and benefiting from it. Like they have their tentacles all over Africa.
And the working conditions are basically slaves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so many of them collaborate. So many of these Chinese nationals collaborate with terrorists. In fact, China as a country officially collaborates with terrorists. Who is one of the strongest allies of Iran?
China.
Exactly.
China. Let's say, what does the US say about this? President Trump is absolutely right to defend our brothers and sisters in Christ who are suffering horrific persecution and even martyrdom for their faith in Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. China will not dictate our foreign policy to us, and we will not be lectured by a communist autocracy that recently arrested 30 Christian pastors for their faith and throws ethnic minorities in concentration camps. So it's the US that actually is talking for the Uyghurs, while the Muslims are supporting China that is persecuting Muslim Uyghurs. So this is crazy. It doesn't make sense.
Exactly.
Nigeria citizens sent me to know what is holding your bombs and soldiers since yesterday.
What the fuck? So
That AI generated. There are so many Nigerians that are like, what is Trump waiting for? He should send those rockets. Please send the rockets.
So, oh shit, I've blocked Pikachu too. I haven't seen, that's why I haven't seen his face. I keep hearing about Christians being killed en masse in Nigeria by Muslims, but I have seen no evidence for this. No numbers, no nothing. Is this a psyop from the usual aspects? Oh, it's the Jews. It's the Jews. The Jews are lying about Boko Haram and ISIS and all of this. The Jews are lying, not the Chinese. Not the terrorists, not the Fulani, not the ISWAP, not Boko Haram, not the government infiltration of Nigeria, not China buying all the country and eating your resources. No, it's the Jews, Frank. You should be afraid of the Jewish conspiracy in your country going right now. The Zionist occupation coming to you also. Free Nigeria.
So whatever you get from Daniel Hakikachu. Then listen, there's CNN. CNN has something to say. Very wonderful.
Oh
CNN.
my God, what the fuck is that? How can you get Jews involved into this?
For a guy who was
Just listen to this, to what Farid
Nigeria. Yeah, Nigeria is
listen-
50-50 Muslim and Christian. Is that right? About 50-50.
I don't know how anybody will know.
No, you don't do any. Well, anyways, that's why
insisting he deserves a Nobel Peace Prize for stopping wars. How do you read what's happening now?
It seems very impulsive and emotional. He possibly saw something on TV. It is very strange. The Nigerian situation is exactly as you said, Sarah, very complicated. A lot of the violence people have heard about in Nigeria.
The Nigerian situation is not complicated. It's complicated for people who don't want to understand it, and people who want to obfuscate. There is nothing complicated about it. Stop lying.
That's like saying Gaza is very complicated, and not just because Hamas is doing some shit.
Yeah, it's just come on, stop lying.
I don't think it's very complicated. You have China backing terrorists to steal resources. That's it.
In 10 minutes, anyone can explain what is happening. You can see exactly what is happening, but it is complicated. Oh, please.
Very complicated.
Boko
Very
Haram,
complicated.
that terror group that took those school children.
I'll be right back, mate.
That was mostly Muslim on Muslim violence. Those are jihadi groups, often taking, killing Muslims. Not in all cases, but in many of them, there is Muslim.
Yeah. The Muslims are the victim.
Farmers versus
Muslims are the victim. The Boko Haram is always just killing Muslims, right?
This stupid guy, sorry, but I think he's very stupid. This stupid person said that the taking of the girls, the Chibok girls, is mostly Muslim or Muslim. This is where he just exposed his stupidity and his ignorance. Chibok is a Christian community in Borno State.
So they know nothing.
Is where, yes. This person just exposed that he doesn't know anything about Nigeria, but he wants to give an opinion on CNN. Chibok is a Christian community in Borno State. That is why Boko Haram targeted Chibok. That is why they went to Chibok to kidnap those girls. Those girls, most of them
he's framing these Christians as Muslims and saying that Boko Haram is also attacking Muslims.
Yes. He gave an example. This is the stupid thing. He gave an example of Boko Haram attacking Christians and then said this is an example of Boko Haram attacking Muslims because he doesn't know anything. Many of those girls,
CNN, not fact-checked or anything.
Many of those girls have been returned, but when they returned, they have all been forced to convert to Islam. The ones that refuse to convert to Islam have not been allowed to return.
So we're talking about these girls getting kidnapped by Boko Haram. And this Chibok. So is Chibok Christian?
Chibok is you may not get the answer there, but those who live in the region will tell you that. Mostly Christian.
With some Muslim, maybe.
With some Muslims. And those some Muslims were the first to be released. But it's mostly Christian. You might say, oh, but they are wearing hijab. Some people don't know this, but in the north, in many northern parts of the country, for you to go to school as a girl, you must wear the hijab, whether you are Christian or not. So you might see a northern girl on hijab and she's not a Muslim. Because
so the Boko Haram is especially known from kidnapping Christian girls from the Chibok ethnicity.
Yes.
But they're framing this in the CNN like, oh, these are Muslims too. Look, they're wearing hijabs and look, wow.
Not knowing that for you to attend schools in the north, you have to wear a hijab, whether you are Christian, whether you are Muslim or not.
The current president, Tinubu, has actually been trying his best to diffuse that kind of violence, and is himself an exemplar.
What do you think about his claim that the current president of Nigeria is trying to diffuse violence?
Let him give me an example of how the current president has been trying to.
What's the current president's name?
Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
And he's a Muslim.
He's a Muslim.
So what has he done against Boko Haram, actually?
He has. That's what I'm saying, that they should give me an example of what he has done. Give me an example of what Bola Ahmed Tinubu has done to diffuse the situation, not just with Boko Haram, but with Fulani herdsmen. When the notorious attack happened in Bokos, when the ones that happened in Bokos during Christmas Eve, where over how many people were killed and so many were displaced, what did he say? Did he go and visit the place where it happened? No. When the one that happened in Yelawata, I don't know how to pronounce that area, in Benue State, he was forced. They had to force him to go and visit the place. And when he went to Benue State, he didn't go to the place that was attacked. He went somewhere else and gave his speech. That is the person that is doing all he can to stop the problem.
Oh, he has done so much.
What is happening in Plateau State is that they keep giving speeches. After each attack, the government officials will come and say, this will be the last one. And then I've covered it on my channel multiple times. The government will come out and say, this will be the last attack. And then there will be another one. And then there will be another one. Recently, I have some that I think fresh attacks. If you go to the link that I sent to you, towards the end, you see the place where I said fresh attacks. These are attacks that happened this week.
And they always say bandits. They don't say Islamic terrorists. They always say bandits.
Yeah, that's what armed bandits.
Armed bandits, Fulani militia. Yeah. But these are actually Muslim jihadists.
These are Muslim jihadists, of course. These are Muslim jihadists. This is fresh attack from the government that is doing all it can. And you know what is interesting about all these
November
fresh attacks?
4th, so this was yesterday.
This was yesterday. And this is what is interesting about these attacks. They attack the same community. Like the same place they attacked yesterday is the same place they will come and attack today. And the same place they will attack tomorrow. So, and here's the thing. Some of these attacks, the community know ahead of time that it is happening. They will go and meet the security agencies and tell them, look, these people are coming. Do something. And they will do nothing and the attack will happen. And you are saying that the government is doing something to curb this issue. They are not doing anything. If they want to do something to stop this issue, they can, but they are not doing it. So what he's saying there is just lies.
So they're just killing random farmers. They just attack them, kill them, rob them, steal the girls.
Of course.
And they're yelling Allahu Akbar.
Of course.
That's very
and there are places that are like hot zones, and these hot zones are known. These bandits are known. Just so you can understand, this is another one from a different place in Nigeria, Kwara State. And this Kwara State, this is like
Kwara people are Christian?
No, they are not. They're Muslim. They're majority Muslim. But they also have Christians there. But it's majority Muslim. But here's the interesting thing about what is happening in Kwara State. Here's the interesting thing about it. But one thing you need to know about Muslims in Kwara State is that many Muslims from the north don't regard them as true Muslims. But that is neither here nor there. The point is, what is happening in Kwara State has happened. This like from for the past 3 months. This will be like number 10 attack in Kwara State. What I'm trying to point out here is that this is something that is happening repeatedly in the same location. So you know where the next attack will happen. Like you know where the next attack will happen. You know it. And you have done nothing to secure those parts of the country.
There's constantly Kwara, 15 killed, abduct, there's constantly stuff going on.
Yes.
And they do nothing about this.
They do nothing about it. And you have somebody on CNN telling us that the government is doing what? What is the proof that they are doing something about it?
Exemplary example of Nigeria's kind of multi-religious tradition.
Such a multi-religious tradition of peacefulness and harmony living together with the multicultural kumbaya, hands together and singing under the sun with the Nigerian flag all together. Is that true, Frank? Is this how your country is?
That is a very big lie. It's a lie that he's repeating the talking points of the Nigerian government. We've always lived in peace. There's religious tolerance in this country. All of it is a lie. And there are many things to demonstrate that it is a lie. It is all false, verifiably false. It's not like, oh, it is disputed. No, it is obvious falsehood.
I think if you're like talking about religious tolerance, maybe you can find it in Nigerian churches, but can you find it in the mosques?
No, you can't. You can't even find it in the north where you have majority Muslims. You can't find it there. You can't find religious tolerance. Where Christian girls have to be forced to wear hijab so that they can attend school.
And then they get kidnapped anyways.
And you get kidnapped anyway. That's the religious tolerance.
Very tolerant. Very, very tolerant.
From the president of Nigeria, he's married to a Christian woman who is an ordained minister. And he often talks about how marriage is part of what he's trying to do. Nigeria is 50% Christian, 50% Muslim. So,
but because you are the please pause. Nigeria is 50% Christian, 50% Muslim because you are our census chairman. As our census chairman, you tell us that we are 50% Christian and 50% Muslim. Based on what? Who? And also, Tinubu is married to a pastor. So what? So what? If you go to Lagos, you find so many Muslims like that. So what? We're not talking about Muslims from Lagos.
So the Muslims in Lagos are a little bit more chilled.
Very liberal. Yes, very liberal. Muslims in Lagos, in fact, many Muslims in the north consider Muslims in Lagos as infidels. Like Muslims in Nigeria see the president, like the core ones, the radical ones, the fundamentalist ones, the ones that hold this Islam like it is their birthright. They see Tinubu as an infidel. Even they see as an infidel.
Hey.
Place for President Trump to interject himself, particularly militarily. I suspect, like many of President Trump's, emotional outbursts, that will not actually lead to military action. That could set off a kind of.
Pause. As Trump's girlfriend, now you are here to tell us about his emotional state, because you and Trump, people are in a romantic relationship. Tell us more. The same Trump that was doing an outburst and then he struck Iran.
Yeah, very emotional.
Very emotional. And he has been raining bombs on boats from Venezuela. Very emotional stuff we are seeing here.
He's not going to do anything.
You are his girlfriend. Tell us more. Tell us what you know about Trump.
I think there's going to be something. But what there's going to be is maybe something we're not going to get in the news. Because in the strikes, I think a lot of Chinese people will die too. And not to cause diplomatic issues with China, I don't think, even if there will be strikes, even if there will be operations against these terrorists, I don't think we will hear much about them.
I don't think the US has an issue with hitting terrorists and then shooting, throwing stones at terrorists and then hitting China in the process, because those Chinese nationals are there illegally. If you understand. So it's like It's not like you came to the country legally. You are given license.
Even
to
China
do what
has to hide it. China has to hide that also.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not like China will not come and say, yeah. So for people we are there. So I don't think the US has any problem with it.
You can just strike and kill the Chinese too, because the Chinese state they're not gonna say that they have illegal Chinese mining operation.
No, they don't want that, like, to have to explain what their people are doing there. It's not something they are ready for.
Tinderbox in Nigeria, but we just have to wait and see. With President Trump, it's often you're trying to mind read this one man.
Yeah, and that can be quite difficult. I do want to talk to you about what...
He's stupid.
Yeah, he's so, any person that I see repeating talking points from the Nigerian government, I mean, that's the definition of madness for me. People who lie on repeat. The people, yeah.
Trump is a convicted. So who is this guy? He's a general.
No, that's Sheikh Gumi.
Okay, so he's calling Trump a extremist.
Before, I want us to have like okay. I think the first thing I sent is what he said. So let's look at what he said about Trump in that. I think that's probably yes. No. I think the part that said who is Sheikh Gumi, what he said about who he said bandits are. Yeah, that first. Yes.
Yeah, we watched
Sheikh
this.
Gumi.
We
Okay, yeah, we've talked about
this. Tip of the iceberg. Deported from. So he got deported from Saudi Arabia for it.
Yes, Saudi Arabia said he's too extreme for them. They deported him because of his connection with terrorists. Actually, that was the reason.
Not entering into Medina. So even the Saudis are saying this guy is radical.
Yes, and he also went to. This is him hanging out with bandits. That is, those people behind him are bandits.
What a peaceful sheikh. He has urged president to take decisive action against. So this is the guy actually like egging the government to oppose the United States, and he's a full terrorist himself.
Yeah, he has asked the Nigerian government to cut off diplomatic ties with the United States. That's what he has advised the government to do.
Maybe not listen to him.
They don't usually listen to him, but sometimes they do.
Okay, so bandits are suffering. He's telling us.
Yes. Just listen to what he had to say.
These people can be rehabilitated, because what we saw is that all this amount of money they collect they're buying weapons. Why do you buy weapons? They said we are under pressure to fight government that has helicopters, is bombarding us. So you remove the pressure, the need for the money is there. When you go there, you don't see any luxurious life. You don't see any luxurious life at all. They are living in huts. They have nothing. They drink sometimes from the street.
Oh, the poor bandits.
Yeah, he wants us to care about not living in good condition. And he's like, we need to think about rehabilitating them, and that
they don't feel they're Nigerians. We must make them feel home. We must make them feel Nigerians.
Yeah, they don't feel like Nigerians, probably because they came from Niger Republic, and some of them from Cameroon, and some of them from the Sahel, because some of them are actually not Nigerians. But we should make them feel at home. Nigerians keep talking about the US coming to invade them. And I'm like, maybe people don't recognize that your country is being invaded by these Fulani bandits.
By the bandits, by the Chinese.
Like, many of these bandits are not from Nigeria. Like, they are not from this country. Many of them. Just listen to this. This is the anthem.
I place to Islam.
Just pause it before it starts. This is the anthem of the Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. And listen to what the anthem says. Just listen to what the anthem says.
Muslim Student Society of Nigeria. How big are they? How big is the society?
They are operational in the north, and every Muslim in the north belongs to this society. So that's why you can hear that it is children who are singing this anthem. So play it and listen to what children who go to school, Muslim children who go to school in the north, this is what they have to sing.
I place to Islam, my religion, to be faithful, loyal, and honest, to serve Islam with all my power. And I pray for Allah's assistance I have testified that there is no God. I have testified that there.
Just allow it to keep playing. Towards the end is when you hear the crazy part.
This is horrible.
There is no God except Allah and Muhammad Rasulullah.
My ears are bleeding, man.
To be a Muslim. I have promised to help Islam. I have promised to work for Islam.
Everything is Islam.
I may gain internal bliss. Oh,
It's too horrid.
Jihad is
calling.
Oh, you brother,
Jihad is calling.
Oh, you
So this is what they teach the students, Muslim students in Nigeria.
Is jihad is calling. This is what Muslim students in northern Nigeria are reciting. This is their anthem. When they finish singing the national anthem, the next anthem they sing is this: for you sisters, jihad is calling. And that is why when Trump said, "I'm coming to strike the terrorists," Muslims feel like he's talking about them.
Yeah, well, I wonder why they feel themselves being the targets of it. I wonder why.
When you send your let us hear the rest of the.
Jihad is calling, so that we may gain internal bliss. We want Quran as constitution. We want
What's that? What? In a secular society, they are saying this is what they want: the Quran as the constitution of Nigeria. That's
Sharia,
what they are
just want
saying.
Sharia. They just want Sharia.
Yeah.
This is horrible.
This is very horrible, of course. Very, very, very horrible. Very horrible.
No. So little kids, they're teaching this. We don't want constitution. We don't want democracy. We want the Quran.
Yeah. That is what children get to recite.
Quran as constitution. We want hadith as constitution.
Not just the Quran, but also the hadith, huh?
Yeah, also the hadith. This is the one Sharia, essentially.
So you want the worst of the worst. You want the worstest, the most sickest Sharia that you can allow. You want it.
I you wonder why Nigerian government cannot stop. Nigerian governments that want to stop bandits cannot even stop child marriage.
Yeah, they're working together to stop these bandits, of course.
Constitution. We will no more accept the theories. Human theories are barbaric.
Human theories are barbaric.
Yes.
What do you mean? Evolution?
Ideologies, Western ideologies, ideology of freedom, liberty, pursuit of happiness, liberalism, any
women's rights,
women's rights, any of those things. These are even like paganism or whatever it is. These are barbaric. Okay, Islam that allows for child marriage and FGM and sex slaves and wife beating and all whatnot. That allows for killings and have allowed Fulani herdsmen to remain bandits for life. That is advanced. That is progressive. That is. But human theories of maybe perhaps people should not be grazing moving cows from one place to another. They should have grazing fields. They should have bands. They should have like stuff like that. That is barbaric. Okay. Human theories like wait till the child is 18, to the girl is 18.
Marrying adult people, that's fucking barbaric, dude. That's crazy.
Human theories like the laws of physics that says that the earth or scientific theories that tell us that the earth is round and it moves. The founder of Boko Haram rejects the notion that the earth is round and believes that the earth is flat because he believes that the earth is round is Western ideology. And that what he has gotten from
They're dumb because the Quran is actually talking about a spheric earth. They're dumb. If they read the Quran, how can they believe in the flat earth? The Quran is very specific about it being a sphere.
So these are people that are like human theories are barbaric. That is what they are learning. That's what they are reciting. And this is what the Muslim the Muslim North is churning into Nigeria.
The kuffar is
First-
coming from the monkey. From the evolution, he's evolved from the monkey. That's why the kuffar is barbaric.
Yes. Yes.
Theories are barbaric. Human theories are aimless theories. We want Quran as constitution, inshallah.
So bad. The song is so bad. At least like try to make it sound nice.
Yeah, maybe somebody should put like a trap beat on it. So
We want Sharia.
look, I want you to look at that
no.
Miss World riot. This happened in 2002. So in 2001, let me explain, just give a summary of what this is about. In 2001, right? In 2001, there was the Nigeria won Miss World, the Miss World contest in 2001. And the tradition of the competition is that the country that wins the previous year will host the next year. So that meant that Nigeria was supposed to host Miss World competition in 2002. Now, because of that, many Muslims in Nigeria were uncomfortable with it. They said that it is anti-Islamic, it is, barbaric, of course. That it does not, sit well with their Islamic sensitivity. So they were opposed to it. And then many of the contestants in the Miss World pageantry said they will not participate because they found out that Nigeria encourages child marriage or allows for child marriage. So in protest against child marriage, they said that they will not participate in the Miss World competition. Also, but some said they will participate and then use that as an opportunity to speak against child marriage. So all of this was kind of making the Muslims uncomfortable, in addition to the fact that they hate the pageantry in general, because they were like, this is un-Islamic. Just the same way you have some Muslims in France saying that Barbie should not be viewed in public because it's against Islam and against Sharia. So that's how the Muslims in the North were opposed to it, right? So then there was this woman, this Nigerian journalist, who wrote an article. Now, the Nigerian journalist was trying to appeal to the Muslim and appease them. And he's trying to come up with this, leftist talking point of how Muhammad was a great feminist and how if Muhammad was alive today, he would have picked a wife from among the pageants. And I think that is a true statement because Muhammad liked those kind of, he took a wife from everywhere. He took a wife from the Jews. So it's not unheard of for Muhammad to see one of those women and start lusting and wanting to, capture them, either turn them to sex slave or make them his wife. But the woman said that innocently, trying to say that Muhammad would approve of this. And
they make a fatwa to stone her.
Yes, but beyond just that, the Muslims started a riot in the North. Because of that statement. Because of that statement, there was a riot in the North. The Muslims went to Christian areas and slaughtered people. Because of a statement made by a journalist that stays in Lagos. They went to think about it. A statement was made by a journalist in Lagos. And then Muslims are attacking Christian community in the North in response. Now, you may not know this, but when the Charlie Hebdo incident happened in France, Muslims in Nigeria attacked Christians next to them in retaliation. And I'm like, okay, this happened in France. This is Charlie Hebdo. And it was not done by Christians. It was done by atheists. So why are you attacking Christians in response? This is a true story. Google it if you think I'm lying.
This
is Nigeria. This is how the radicals behave in this country.
I can see it. And then they wanted to stone this Amina Lawal Nigerian woman to death because she said that.
And a fatwa was issued against her. She could no longer live in the country. She was granted asylum in Europe because she could no longer live in the country.
Is she still alive? She's living in Europe right now.
Somewhere in Europe is where she's living. And she better not disclose her location because she's wanted. She's living in the Netherlands, apparently.
That's crazy.
Or one of the countries.
They want to stone her to death. Such a religion of peace.
So, and these are people who want you to remember, of course, that this is a pastor that Boko Haram beheaded, and they did it live. He was arrested, he was kidnapped, and later beheaded. Even after ransom was paid, Boko Haram still beheaded the pastor.
It was a big Christian association. They
he was
kidnapped the
chairman
pastor.
in Adamawa
And when
State.
did this happen? 2020, 5 years ago.
5 years ago. So I'm just giving you instances of some of the crazy things that Boko Haram have done in the past.
Nope,
can't
no
find the
terrorist video.
Yeah, all of that is usually scrubbed off the internet as quickly as possible.
So the attacks against Christians are very normal, constantly happening. Everybody knows this. So why is the world reacting weird, you think?
Of course, it's because particularly people to the left, to the left in American politics, kind of love Islamic terrorism at this point.
That was from Sudan.
Yeah. If you allow it to play, your channel may get flagged. So
I know. That's why I scrolled really fast away from it.
This is the reality. The reality of the situation is that every person who is paying attention to what is happening knows that this is indeed a genocide. That everything that has been said is true. Every accusation levied against the Nigerian government is true. And it's very simple, actually. Radical Muslims, or what people are just called pious, devout Muslims, right? No, you don't play that clip. If you do, this is what happened during the killing of Deborah Yakubu. So,
yeah, we really don't want to show this video then. They burn people under those tires, right?
Yeah. And that is how the lady was killed. So, this pastor is standing behind the memorial that was raised for the victims of the attack, of one of the attacks in Plateau State, or is it Benue State? I'm not sure now. Over 200.
So a lot of Christians dying, a lot of Muslims attacking. As we can see, a lot of Christians are dead.
And here is the president in the past admitting that, if you just go scroll up a bit, that first tweet, the slaughtering of Christian worshippers is strongly condemnable. It calls to question the competency of Jonathan to protect Nigerians. That person that is saying that is currently the president of Nigeria.
So 2014, he admits there is killing of Christians, but now that he's a president, he is like, oh no, we don't have any problems. The USA doesn't need to come here and everything is okay.
The next tweet is from one of his spokesperson. You see, their voice is loud, condemning injustice against Muslims in the USA, yet very silent in condemning genocide of Christians in Nigeria. This person is one of the minions of the current administration. And here he is. Now he will tell you that if you find any of his tweets now, he will tell you there is no genocide. In fact, he has gone around making press statement and going on news outlets to defend the Nigerian government, claiming that there is no genocide.
No, nothing is happening.
Yeah. So
10 years ago, they were very worried about this.
Yes.
So actually, PKK is not Islamic; it's communist. This is wrong, but otherwise, yes.
Every other thing there is.
Anyways, I have some videos I want to show you.
Okay.
We have gone through your list, but I'll put some Finnish subtitles so maybe people will be more relaxed about what's going on. Let's see what CNN is saying. This is the clip that I actually showed about this guy, but it continues right about here.
There is Muslim-Christian violence, as you say. Some of it is based on farmers versus goat herders. The current president, Tinubu, has actually been trying his hard.
Did he say goat herders?
Farmers versus goat herders.
You see that this guy doesn't even know anything about what
they're not herding goats, are they?
No, it's even the ones that are herders are herding cattle. Cattle's dumbass. Cattle. You don't know anything about this country. Maybe you should just stop talking. Just stop talking at this point. This kind of.
Just
you don't even know what you're talking about. Goat herders in this country. People are herding goats. I'm not aware of that. Goats. You guys should just keep quiet.
diffuse that kind of violence, and is himself an exemplary example of Nigeria's kind of multi-religious tradition. He is Muslim, the president of Nigeria. He's married to a Christian woman who is an ordained minister, and he often talks about how that marriage is part of what he's trying to do. Nigeria is 50% Christian, 50% Muslim. So it's an odd place for president.
According to Farid Zakaria, our censor chairman, the chairman of the censor board in Nigeria, he has given us official statements. Nigeria is 50-50, Christians and Muslims, according to Farid.
I think it's kind of hard to get actual census data of 200 million people and what are their religions, so many different tribes, so many different regions.
In a country that doesn't even care about, first of all, the border in the northern part of the country is porous. Like it is almost non-existent. We have an artificial border in the northern part. The what separates Nigeria from Niger is artificial. The border is artificial. You don't even know where so many of these northern states end and where the Cameroon border begin. It's somebody who knows nothing about this country opening their mouth and say it's a 50-50 citizen.
What do you think? Is there more Muslims than Christians?
I don't know. You know, some have speculated that there are more Christians than Muslims because despite the fact that they say you have Muslims majority in the north, you still find pockets of Christians there. So are those being accounted for? And another thing you also need to note is that even when a Muslim leaves his religion and become a Christian, he's still going to be counted as a Muslim, you know. So when you put all of that into consideration, you consider the fact that Nigeria is a country that does not take record keeping very seriously. So they we just throw any kind of number of figure that they want to. Some have said it's 53% Christian, 44% Muslim. 53% Muslim, 44% Christian. Some have said it's 53% Christian, 44% Muslim. People have thrown figures around, but it's let's say there is a majority. The Christians and Muslims are majority in the country. I think that is a better way to just put it because you don't even
both
know
are the majority. And it kind of depends where you go, where there is more and there is less of the...
Exactly. Depending on where you find yourself, you might find more Christians or you might find more Muslims. Some stupid Muslims have said, oh, but we have 4 wives and we give birth to plenty of children. And I'm like, how many of those numerous children you pump out every week get to see the age of 10? How many of them? How many of them die as babies? You say you are pumping out children that will not survive the next 10 years. How many of them die of polio? How many of them die? Polio is still killing people in northern Nigeria. These are people that want to let you know that Western theories or human theories are barbaric.
So they don't take the vaccination. They don't take the polio vaccination.
Yeah. They follow Candace Owens, so they don't take polio vaccination. You know.
Because it's Boko Haram.
Yeah. It's haram.
To interject himself, particularly militarily. I suspect, like many of President Trump's,
Okay, he's talking about Trump being emotional.
I'll go into Nigeria.
May very well go into that now disgraced country, guns are blazing, to completely wipe out the Islamic terrorists who are committing these horrible atrocities. What do you think? Would you feel threatened if Trump would actually come in with the army to fight all of these Fulanis and Boko Haram? And would you feel threatened about it?
Yeah, some people in the country had legitimate concern of, okay, when you say guns are blazing, what do you mean? Do you mean like carpet bombing and, indiscriminate bombing? Because if that's the case, you might end up killing the very Christians you want to protect. Now, of course, it will not affect me because I don't live in that region, but it doesn't mean I should not be concerned. So that's kind of like, even when I reacted to this tweet on my live stream, it's the same thing I said. I said, I would rather that it is just precise, targeting. And I don't want US troops on the ground, not because I don't think it will be, I don't want it to be that the US came into Nigeria and their soldiers died on Nigerian soil. It's something that I don't think is going to sit well on Trump's resume. He's not going to be that peace president. The people in the US will quickly, even those who are conservatives, will quickly turn on Donald Trump if lives of soldiers start getting lost in this. Like, I can see that happening. Despite how much they want to end, they want to help Christians. They won't want to lose, except the US uses mercenaries, like, if they ever do that. So there is that. And then I want it to be precise. I just want the targeting to be precise. I don't want human casualties to be too much. I don't want it to be let's check the human to casualty ratio. Where to be, is it 2 to 1? Is it 1 to 1? Is this happening in a densely urbanized center? Of course, which is not the case. These are happening in remote villages. So maybe to make it a lot more easier, because it's happening in remote villages. Many of these bandits their hideouts are in forest, deep forest. They are far away from populated areas. So which is what makes it easier, I think, in my opinion, though I'm not a military expert. But I think because of how these people locate themselves, it will be easier to carry out a precise drone strike, and you end up hitting them without more. Except they are holding hostages. That's when you might end up, hurting the hostages.
Do you think the US knows a lot of these illegal mining sites, and those might be potential targets?
Yeah, they should be. I mean, with the amount of information that I've even seen coming out from U.S. organizations and U.S. lawmakers with regards to what is happening in this country, I am amazed at the level of information that they have. So I trust that they know a lot about what is going on than even I do. I am sure that for all we know, they may already have something up their sleeve. There's something they are probably planning. One thing that I know, or one thing that I suspect, is that whenever this strike is going to happen, it will not be announced. It will just happen. I don't know if you understand. It will just happen, and then Trump is just going to come out with his thank you for your attention to this matter Truth Social post. So that's kind of what I think is going to happen here.
So just like Iran.
Yeah, just like Iran. I think that's what is going to happen. It will not be announced. The Nigerian government may probably not even be aware of it. If they are made aware of it, they'll be told to keep quiet. It's going to be so quick. Like he said, it will be swift, it will be vicious, and it will be sweet. And I think of what...
I think he will strike in a manner that will actually hurt the Muslims in the government. So in the end, the government itself will have to go and fight all these terrorists.
Yeah. I think the way it will happen, I think one of the things that I think the Nigerian government is, although at this point it's no longer even avoidable because Trump has really disgraced them and exposed them. And I think more exposure that needs to take place is the world needs to know that 12 states in this country has blasphemy laws that give the death sentence to those who say things that hurt the feelings of a Muslim.
12 states in your country.
12, yes.
Will have blasphemy laws. Basically, if you leave Islam, can they kill you?
Yes. Although the state in question have released a statement denying it, but there was once a news report of a lady in Zamfara state. Zamfara is one of those states that left Islam and was arrested. Okay, but besides that, we have the police force in the north called the Hisba police, or Hisba police. And the Hisba police usually will go to people's Hisba, that's the spelling there. The Kano State Hisba Corps is a religious police.
Morality police, religious morality police. Yeah.
Yes, like the morality police. And they go out during Ramadan telling shops to close up and telling people not to eat in public during Ramadan, whether you are a Muslim or not. And when stores are selling alcohol, they go to those stores and seize the alcohol product and destroy them, or even close up those stores.
Exactly.
And they claim that they claim that, this only applies to Muslims. It does not apply to non-Muslims. But that's the lie. Okay? At least some trucks carrying alcohol beverage belonging to non-Muslims were destroyed, and bars were raided by the Hisba after it accuses owners of corrupt act. So we have the many northern states are essentially creating infrastructures, putting in system in place that will turn the north to Afghanistan.
Basically, yeah. Sharia, Afghanistan.
So it's not when we talk about Christian persecution, that's what we are talking about.
And also their prolonged underage imprisonments. They have forced HIV. What?
And predators, brutal beating of inmates. There's even one that I saw of somebody who came from he left Nigeria, went to the UK, and while he was in the UK as a Muslim, he converted, he left Islam, and then he came back to visit his family, and he was arrested by the Hishba police, and they kept him in prison for 2 years, and he was diabetic, and they did not give him diabetes treatment. He was chained to his legs, like they were the same way you see Hamas holding Israeli inmates. I mean, not inmates, rather Israeli hostages. That was how this guy. That was how he described the situation he was suffering under this arrest that was carried out by Hisba. So there are many atrocities that they carry out in the north, and this is state sanctioned.
Yeah, they work for the state.
They work for the state. They work for the Kano state government, and you have similar forces like that in the north. In fact, the north have been asking for state police, and by state police, what they are demanding for is Sharia police that will go out there enforcing Sharia law.
That's crazy.
The former the governor of Kano State, who signed into law full Sharia in Kano State, came out and released a statement about that's Rabiu Kwankwaso, the former governor of Kano State, came out and released a statement condemning Trump's designation of Nigeria as a country of particular concern. And Riley Moore pointed out that you were the governor that signed in full Sharia into law. In fact, one of the first governors to do that in Nigeria. What do you have to say about the fact that blasphemy is punishable by death in your country, and you are the one who signed that into law in your state? He kept quiet and deleted the tweet. So when you see all of this happening, you know that, a lot is going on in this country. And what I find interesting is that the United States, and those who are speaking about this in the United States, know every video that I've seen of many of the officials and the NGO leaders talking about what is happening in Nigeria. I see that these people know, they are really aware of what is happening. They have records. They talk about it, and I'm like, yeah, I have nothing to disagree with, because they know exactly what they are talking about. So, exactly. Yeah, I look forward to what they will do. I look forward to what Trump will do. And one thing that I know is that if Trump is serious about this, he's not going to collaborate with the Nigerian government, because there is nothing that shows that Nigerian government is a partner willing to deal with this problem. So if he realizes that and then wants to really deal with the issue, then he's left with no other option.
I don't think they will. I don't think they will. That's why he threatened, like, you have to do something now.
I'm saying it should not even be a threat at this point. Just come in with the guns blazing, because if you think that the Nigerian government is going to hear your warning and be like, okay, now we are going to, they will not. They will not. This problem has been there since the country gained independence. This problem has been there and has manifested itself at many points during the history of this nation. This problem has been there even when the British were here. This problem has been there, and it became worse since 2009. And the government then did not do anything about it. Even when the government then, that's Jonathan's government, was trying to do something, the North cried out and said to attack Boko Haram is to attack the North. And then in the next election, it was voted out.
It's the same. They think it's the same. It's the same. They think the North is Boko Haram. It's the same. But there was this African news channel with a lot of followers. I don't know if you know this channel's television, 3.6 million. And they had a news report about how China, particularly China, is opposing Trump plans. Let's watch it. It's like a minute.
China has firmly opposed the United States' use of religion and human rights to meddle in Nigeria's affairs after Washington threatened.
Yeah, but you're using minerals and mines to meddle in Nigeria's.
The same channels have headlines talking about it. So it's not even the channels, the best channels news. No, they have headlines talking about.
This is hypocrite.
Military action.
Yeah, these people have no. They are not to be taken seriously. They are not to be taken seriously.
Killing of Christians in the north. During a news conference in
Beijing, the killing of Christians in the north is alleged.
Alleged.
Foreign Ministry spokeswoman Mao Ning said religion and human rights is not an excuse to interfere with other countries' internal affairs and threaten them with sanctions and force. She said,
Yeah,
as
but
Nigeria's
illegal mining is good enough reason.
Yeah,
No,
illegal mining
religion-
is totally fine, you know. Child labor, slaves.
Yeah. Religious issues are not enough to make you want to meddle in any country's affairs, because after all, China does not care about religion. But illegal mining is a good enough reason to support religious fanatics who wants to kill people of other religions and take over their land.
Good.
Comprehensive strategic partner, China firmly supports the Nigerian government in leading its people on the development path.
Yeah, because the same government is allowing all of these illegal mines for you, allowing all of this money, allowing all of these minerals, allowing everything for you.
Yeah, all of a sudden Nigeria is on a development path. That is why we rank this second. Yeah, in the poverty index, that's why we rank second, because we are on this development. These people are not serious, my brother. They are not serious.
Crazy.
Suited to its national conditions. On Saturday, U.S. President Donald Trump threatened Nigeria with possible military action for the alleged killing of Christians, with claims that Christianity is facing an existential threat in Nigeria.
It is all alleged. It's not like
alleged killings.
Donald Trump, and will also be remembered for accidentally shooting a friend during a 2006
Suddenly shooting Cheney, shooting his friend.
Will be remembered for
the race is on for the mayor's seat in New York, as U.S. President Donald Trump has endorsed Andrew Cuomo in the New York City mayoral race, urging voters not to elect left-wing frontrunner Zora. Threatened a possible.
With what has happened in New York, I think New York is going to be.
I'll look into it, but there was some alleged Christian genocide. Alleged.
I don't understand what they mean by alleged.
No such a thing, right? Nothing like that is happening. And then there is this guy you were also talking about. Let's see what he says.
A leading Muslim cleric has urged Nigeria to cut ties with the United States over President Donald Trump's threat of military action. At the weekend, Trump warned of possible military action, with guns a-blazing, if Nigeria failed to crack down on what he called the killing of large numbers of Christians by Islamist insurgents. Nigeria's President Bola Tinubu has pushed back against accusations of religious intolerance and defense.
Pause. Is that all Reuters is going to say about Sheikh Gumi? Oh, this cleric has called on the Nigerian government to cut diplomatic ties with the US. Is that all you're going to say about Sheikh Gumi? You're not going to talk about the things he has said?
Muslim cleric. Not a terrorist, he's a cleric. Don't worry about it. Like the leader of ISIS was a austere religious leader.
They should just call every terrorist like that. Just a devout Muslim. That's what I always call them. You know, devout Muslims. They're not terrorists.
But Islam has nothing to do with terrorism.
Yeah.
Funded his country's efforts to protect religious freedom.
Oh, you got the lights back. Is there lights back? There we go.
While Nigeria's Chief of Defense Staff said on Monday that what the country faces is terrorism, not the persecution of Christians.
Isn't that the same thing? Christians are getting terrorized by Muslims.
It's so funny when they say so many of these things. They're like, oh, it's terrorism and not genocide, as if both of them cannot happen. Like, oh, terrorism is the opposite of genocide. So there you go.
In Nigeria's northern Kano state on Tuesday, cleric Ahmed Gumi said Nigeria should warn Trump to retract his threat.
Because it's a direct threat, even ordering the Pentagon to be ready to attack Nigeria for what? Nigeria should, the president should retract such, or else we sever our relationship with America until when Americans will have the sense to elect a president that is civil.
If you cut all relations to America,
including
much
the 1
money?
billion. Yeah, including the $1 billion US they give you every year. Anyway, it's fine. Let it happen. Let it happen. Sometimes it frustrates me to realize that I share the same country with people like that, man. Like it's frustrating to think about it. Like really, I
You
share
will
the same
lose
country.
immediately $200 million on emergency funds to sustain essential healthcare services. So immediately, the day you cut your relationship with the USA, you lose all your hospitals. Very good idea.
This is a very
Amazing
smart
idea.
man. You can see that this is a very smart man.
Very
This is what
smart.
happened when you're primary school, when you were in primary school, when you were in grade school, and when you were in high school. What you were singing is, "To my sisters, jihad is calling. To my brothers."
Yeah, the Chinese are gonna let you have a lot of jihad and Sharia. I'm sure of that.
You grow up and you become Sheikh Gumi. That's what happens. After singing "To my brothers, jihad is calling."
Trump has also said his administration would immediately halt all aid and assistance to Nigeria. The Nigerian government has said it would welcome US help in fighting insurgent groups as long as its territorial integrity is respected. Foreign Minister Yusuf Tuga in Germany on Tuesday emphasized his country's constitutional commitment to religious freedom and the rule of law.
This is what guides us, and this is what shows that it's impossible for there to be a religious persecution that can be supported in any way, shape, or form by the government of Nigeria.
Yeah, I love Nigeria. No one thing I like about Nigerian politicians is that one of these people
absolutely never ever could be anything like this to never happen.
To be a politician in Nigeria, you need to be able to tell brazen lies that is and say it with a straight face, say it with so much confidence, say it like you mean it, say it like your life depends on it, but what you are saying is a very big lie. Like you know how to say big lies.
Absolute
big
lies.
The Nigerian constitution recognizes 3 laws that are constitutional, like 3 laws that are constitutional, that are like, it recognizes act of the legislature, that's both state legislation and federal legislation. It recognizes them as laws, like these are laws that are recognized, and then customary laws, that is laws that are customary to various parts of the country. So let's say you from your tribe in Nigeria, you have a custom that you people uphold. So the Nigerian constitution upholds your custom and considers your custom to be like valid law. Then the next thing that it recognizes is common law, British common law. It recognizes British common law. So that's why in many issues in Nigeria or many disputes in Nigeria are governed by British common law because it is recognized by the constitution. The next law that it recognizes is Sharia law. The Nigerian constitution recognizes Sharia law. And for a long time, since that constitution came into being in 1999, that's the 1999 constitution, since it came into being, northern states immediately started legislating, their state legislation started legislating Sharia law, like adding Sharia law into becoming part of the legislation, enforcing it, creating Sharia courts. There are courts in Nigeria that are Sharia criminal courts, Sharia appeal courts. They started creating those, and you have them across the north. 12 states are implementing Sharia fully, and then some other states are doing it partially. And that is the country that makes it impossible for religious persecution and discrimination. By virtue of the constitution, religious freedom is like, because section 30 something says something about we recognize the right to religion.
That's crazy because they're saying we give Muslims religious rights to do whatever they want. We recognize religious freedom, but when you give Muslims religious freedom, that means you will take it away from everybody else.
This is what, and I want people in the West to recognize this. This is the danger of religious freedom when Islam is put into the equation. You need to know this and know peace. When you believe in religious freedom, religious tolerance, it is okay when it is just every other religion. Once you introduce Islam into the mix, then you have a very serious problem. Because the religious freedom of Islam is them being able to destroy every other religion. It is part of their religion. It is part of their religious freedom right to destroy every other religion. To not allow them to do that is to infringe on their religious freedom. This is very important.
Logic. It is logic, Frank. It is the Muslim logic. Trust me, we have the same issue in Finland. We have the same issue in Finland. They do all of this shit in the name of religious freedom.
So I want to be tolerant. We can accommodate Islam. Islam is peace. All this nonsense. You know, I remember one Muslim on Twitter said, Islam is a religion of peace. I said, yeah, according to Surah Al George Bush, Islam is a religion of peace.
Yeah, George Bush made it up anyway, so.
Because many of them don't even know that was a statement popularized. That was a notion popularized by George Bush. But George Bush was the person who said Islam is a religion of peace.
Let's talking shit. Let's talking shit.
Nigeria, Africa's most populous country with more than 200 million people, is divided between the largely Muslim north and mostly Christian south. Insurgent groups such as Boko Haram and Islamic State West Africa province.
All right, how many terrorist groups does the South have? How many terrorist groups does the Christians have?
Okay, the South, although they are not Christian terrorists, but the South have groups that have been designated as terrorist groups. We have MEND, that's the Emancipation. MEND is Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta. That is a group from the South, and is designated a terror group. And then we have Independent People of Biafra, IPOB, is a group from the South.
So you have secular groups that are terrorists.
Secular groups. And the reason why they are terrorists is because they use violence to push a political agenda. And their political agenda is just simple. It's something that is understandable. So like a Movement for the Emancipation of the Niger Delta is a group that was their goal essentially when they were very active, because now they are no longer like, it's a thing of the past at this point. What they wanted was for the government to pay attention to the suffering of people in the Niger Delta, because most of the wealth of the nation comes from the Niger Delta area. That's where we get most of our oil from. Yet if you go to those communities, they are living in abject poverty. They don't, because of oil spill, their water is no longer clean, so they don't have drinking water. Many of them were fishermen, and because of oil spill, their fishes are dying, so their livelihood was dying. Yet they were being neglected by the government. So to call attention to this, what actually happened is that many of them were like, protesting, rallying, and then they rallied and got to Abuja, and then they saw their oil money in Abuja. They saw the structures in Abuja. They saw everything, and they were like, wait, we are living in abject poverty. Yeah, look at our money in Abuja, in the Federal Capital Territory, building great buildings. So it made them to resort into violence, to try to, in fact, essentially what they were targeting is places where crude was being extracted. They will go there and kidnap like crude oil workers and say, we will not release them until you meet so and so demand. So it was clear that was then when MEND was still active. So it was clear what their grievance was. And as soon as the government did something about it, MEND still exists, but it's no longer like, it doesn't have teeth. It doesn't appeal to the people anymore because the government has paid attention, or at least to an extent tried to pay attention. And everybody in the South was against MEND. They were not in support of what they were doing. The same thing with IPOB.
So what you're saying is there is no Christian terrorist groups. There are no secular groups. These are political groups. But especially in the North, there is a dozen different Muslim terrorist groups.
Yeah, in the North, what you have is religious terrorism. In the South, the other group that you mentioned, that someone might mention, is IPOB, which is still kind of active today, and is every person in the north, in the east, southeastern part of Nigeria is not a fan of IPOB. Like, we want IPOB to stop. We want IPOB, like, we are like, yeah, IPOB need to stop. What does IPOB want? It's called is Independent People of Biafra, and what they want is an independent southeastern.
Biafran leader.
Yeah, you have the
we have the Biafran president is arrested in Finland.
Not their president. It's one of their activists.
He's like our leader. We hold him in Finland for terrorism.
Exactly. So He's not their leader. Their leader is Nnamdi Kanu, who is currently in prison in Nigeria. Even though no charge has been brought against him, or even the ones that have been brought against him have been dismissed, but he's still held in prison.
They are fighting Muslims, right? These Biafran people, they are fighting Muslims.
So what Biafra is fighting for is for an independent Eastern state. They want the East to to succeed from the country. They want their own state. It's like we are asking for our own state, kind of. And it's an idea that in the past, I used to be opposed to it. But recently, I'm beginning to be sympathetic to it. You know, not like I'm fully on board with it, but I'm beginning to see why it makes sense to say, you know what, maybe this country we need to sit down.
Biafrans are not some Islamic terrorists. They're mostly Christians. They want independence. They are fighting for secular things.
Yes. What they are demanding is not religious anything, and they don't have the kind of, and they have been active like. If you see where Nigerian army is fighting IPOB that does not even have the level of sophisticatedness that these terrorists from the north have. If you see the way they attack them, like the IPOB, you see the way they have heavy military presence in the southeast. You think that's where all the security problem in Nigeria, that's where it exists. If you go to the southeast and you're moving from one state to the other, the amount of military checkpoints you see on the road, you think you are going to go and visit a military base, a secret military base in Nigeria. That's the level of security you have in the southeast because they are fighting IPOB. IPOB that currently doesn't even have teeth. Like, when was the last time IPOB did anything? Like, their leader is arrested, they are scattered as a group, they are not even organized. They hardly do anything, they hardly effect anything. In fact, many people have even mocked the movement as a very useless movement. That is nothing compared to what is happening in the north. IPOB is nothing compared to what is happening. And it's not even a religious movement. It is purely secular.
So let's go to the last topic we have today. I wanted to get your opinions about the newest wonderful socialist, Muslim, world peace advocate.
Yeah, the Ayatollah of New York.
The Ayatollah of New York, Zohran Khomeini, Mamdani. What do you think of him? What's your thoughts about him?
He's going to lead New York to the greatness that we see in places like London and Manchester. He's going to lead. Yeah, alhamdulillah to that. So New York, they don't know what they've given themselves over to. You know, but there's one thing I always say. I say in this life you either learn or you become a lesson. And the truth is, at the end of the day, we don't have enough cautionary tales. So it's good that New York has decided to offer itself to humanity as a cautionary tale. So there is that.
So if you look at London, what the London mayor has done in the last decade, in the last 15 years, 12 years has been the mayor there. What has happened to London? We have Muslim grooming gangs. We have weekly terrorist attacks. We have Muslim majority areas with no-go zones. We have women not being able to go outside at night. Islamic extremism, anti-Semitism, knife attacks, constant gang wars, robberies, thievery, pickpockets. Do you think people go to London as a tourist right now? Like there's people going to London as a tourist?
It would be, of course not. I remember a Nigerian was saying, I think it's a Nigerian that was saying to others who want to come to London, that CEO, do you know that in this place, he was saying about the UK, like in London, that in this place you can be making the phone call and somebody can just jack your phone. Like, do you know it happens here? And people in Nigeria are like, wow, are you serious? I'm like, yeah. Well, so coming to New York very soon, it's going to be glorious, okay? It's going to be glorious. The goodness of whatever it is that the people it's going to be glorious, is all I can say. And every New Yorker should know that, they did it to themselves.
Let's see how glorious, Mamdani. Let's see.
The good thing is that, of course, the good thing is that people can always leave. So
to where? They're
can
just
go to
gonna go
Florida.
everywhere. They're just gonna go everywhere. You can't escape them. Let's see. Look at his fake smile.
Zora Mamdani and Emmanuel Macron. Who is the fakest politician amongst the two of them?
Macron is pretty fake, yeah.
Yeah, Macron is way faker. Like every time I'm like, this is a fake human being. And then there is Justin Trudeau. These three people, Emmanuel Macron, Justin, although he's no longer like prime minister, but let's just put him there. Emmanuel Macron, Justin Trudeau, Zora Mamdani. Who is the fakest politician you've ever seen amongst the three?
Oh, Trudeau I think it's number one. Let's see. We haven't seen much of Zohran. We have just seen the first campaigns. We don't know. It might just be. He might get to the top of the list, but let's see Zora Mamdani's. Have you seen his victory speech yet? Yes. So let's look at his victory speech.
All right.
Thank you, my friends.
Allahu Akbar.
The sun may have set over our city this evening, but as Eugene Debs once said,
Who is Eugene Debs?
see the dawn of a better day for humanity.
Who is Eugene Debs?
I even care to know.
Indiana State Representative. Eugene was an American socialist, political activist, and trade unionist. One of the founding members of the Industrial Workers Socialist Party of America. Founders of Socialist Party of America. This guy is quoting him like, oh my God.
For as long as we can remember, the working people of New York have been told by the wealthy and the well-connected that power does not belong in their hands. Fingers
Nobody, literally no one has said that.
on the warehouse floor, palms calloused from delivery bike handlebars, knuckles scarred with kitchen burns. These are not hands that have been allowed to hold power. And yet, over the last 12 months, you have dared to reach for something greater.
Why? I like it when stupid politicians like this make this kind of statement. Oh, the average man, the poor masses have not been allowed to hold power. But for the first time, things are about to change when a Nepo baby who came from wealth, who owns property in Uganda, is well placed in society. When you give him power, now you hold power.
He has $10 million. He has a $10 million Nepo baby status. He has like $10 million waiting for him in the bank.
Yes, that is when you vote that guy in. Now things are about to change. Now power is now in your hands. Don't worry. You know what I like about Zora Mamdani? He's so beautiful that he has every reason to just destroy New York without giving a damn, because he has an empire in Uganda waiting for him. So he can he can just go ahead, destroy New York City. When he's done, he retires back in Africa. What is the best position to be in this world? Just go to a foreign country, decimate it economically, and when you are done, you chill back. It's great. I mean, the people who voted for him are the best. They can.
Iran loves him.
It's amazing what he's going to do to them. They should continue.
China loves him. Iran loves him. Russia loves him.
Tonight, against all odds, we have grasped it. The future is in our hands. My friends, we have toppled a political dynasty.
Nah, man.
I wish Andrew Cuomo only the best in private life.
But worse in politics.
Tonight be the final time I utter his name. As we turn the page on a politics that abandons the many and answers only to the few. New York, tonight you have delivered a mandate for change. A mandate for a new kind of politics. A mandate for a city we can afford. And a mandate for a government that delivers exactly that.
You won't.
People think Cuomo was corrupt. Don't worry. You don't know what it is when the government is controlling a lot more. You know, let me give you, as a Nigerian, let me advise these people. They don't know anything, so let me just give them small advice. Okay? When the government has limited power and it is corrupt, when it has more power, it will be more corrupt. I don't know if you've had this statement that power corrupts and absolute power corrupts absolutely. He wants to have public this, public that, public everything. And you think that is not going to lead to more corruption. There's nothing that leads to more corruption than having having a big public sector. A very big public sector is going to lead to more. It's easy to
steal the money because you're not taking it away from anyone. You're just taking it away from the public.
The private sector often have an incentive to be effective, but the public sector doesn't. People don't know what you have signed up for. But of course, the lecturers that taught you that at Columbia University didn't tell you anything. All they told you is, all they taught you is whatever the drunken Marxist wrote in his book. Or not even Marxist. His name is even Marx anyway, so he's not a Marxist. He's just Marx. What Karl Marx was he said in his Communist Manifesto. So that is all you people know, and whatever critical race theory you've been taught. That's all you guys know. Intellectual, academic stuff. And everything sounds good when you talk about it academically. It's all beautiful ideas. It's when the rubber hits the road that you people are going to see the reality. You people will become real cautionary tales. Like cautionary tales.
I give you 2 years. I give you 2 years in the media. They're going to talk about how much of a shithole New York has become. 2 years. Yeah.
And you people voted in somebody who has who is not fully committed to New York. Like if New York goes to rubbles, if he destroys New York, if New York goes down in flames, he's not going to go down with the country. He has an empire waiting for him somewhere else. That's the person you voted. Why do Democrats have this desire to do that? Foreigners who have dual allegiance. Like, of course, there are foreigners who you can see have abandoned the country where they are coming from and they are invested in the one that they are in. Like people like Vivek Ramaswamy. But that's not what you have with Ilhan Omar. That's not what you have with Zohran Mamdani. These are people that have empires. They have supporters. They have vision for where they are coming from. They have dual loyalty. They are willing to, and the dual loyalty is not even in connection with whatever you have as Americans. Like what they want in from the country where they are coming from and what you want in America does not align in any way. And those are the people that you vote in. I've never seen people who are addicted to suffering like this. Like you just want to suffer. You are begging to suffer.
It's what it is, man. It's what it is. And recently, also, our ex-Prime Minister, Sanna Marin, has been made global headlines. She is, after winning Tony Blair's institute, she's now coming back to Finnish politics to ruin our economy yet again. And this is actually very funny that she's coming. But we are hitting 2.5 hours. We're been alive for a long time, and I think we have talked about what is actually going on in Nigeria, unlike a lot of news, unlike the mainstream news, unlike the Finnish news, for example. Nobody has any idea what the fuck is going on. All we know is Trump bad, Trump threatened black people, Trump racist. This is all we know. So that's why I wanted for you to come up today and tell us what's going on in Nigeria. And I think you have exposed mostly that it's about Chinese resource war, using terrorists to genocide, to they arm these terrorists to protect their mineral sites, but these terrorists, when they get the weapons, they do what they want to do. They go and kill the kuffar, they go and kill the Christian, they go and kidnap the kids, and so on. And do you have any final words maybe you would like to finish people to know about this situation?
I would like the Finnish people to go and subscribe to my channel.
Hell yes. So I have your channel linked on the down there. Nigerian perspective with Frank Steven. I think a lot of people already know you in Finland because we watch your videos. Your videos are very popular around the Western world, as you have noticed. A lot of people know you. And go subscribe to Frank's channel and also put a like on this video and subscribe to this video too. But Frank, anyways, any last words you want to?
Yeah, besides going to subscribe to my channel, it's just that my friend Anteria has refused to, he hates the English people and the English speaking words. So he has refused to make his channel just to be open for English people, or English speaking people. So if I say subscribe to his channel, the people who will end up subscribing will unsubscribe from the next video. They'll be like, no, we are done. We don't even understand what he said. So, but I really think you're doing you're doing very great work, especially bringing the news to the people in Finland. I think what you're doing is exceptional. And I want people to be wary of Islam, to understand that the religion is not a religion of peace. It's not a religion of tolerance. And it's not Islamophobic to say it. And also to just be wary of it. Be wary of those who claim to be peaceful, but all they do is commit atrocities and heinous crimes. That's just that. And lastly, if you allow me to, I will also say the solution to all of the problems we talk about, all of them, the solution at the end of the day is not found in this world, okay? There is nothing you seek that this world can offer you, okay? And again, the most thing everyone desires and seek after is something that is eternal, something that transcends this world. And that is something you'll find in Jesus Christ. That's something you find in Christ. Only God can really save us. Only God can really deliver us. And one thing I always tell my viewers is that God is going to judge all the people we talk about, even if beyond just the judgment that they will receive in this world, God is going to judge them. And God is going to judge all of us for everything we've done. And on that day, when that judgment will happen, nobody can stand because we've all sinned. All have sinned and fallen short of his glory. Even the scripture said that our righteousness before him is as a filthy rag. The only way we can escape the wrath of God is through Jesus Christ, because in the fullness of time, he came and he took upon himself the punishment for our sins, so that those of us who eventually give our lives to him will not suffer the punishment for sin, who will escape it and will become friends of God. We'll become friends of God and we'll become one with him. We'll be united back to him. We'll become his children and he will become our father. One passage of scripture that encapsulates this is from John, the book of John. It says, behold what manner of love the Father has bestowed upon us, that we should be called the sons of God. There is nothing more loving than being called the son of God. And that's what God has done and has worked in Jesus Christ. And if you accept him today, you become his son. And trust me, there is a lot of benefits to being a child of God. More beneficial than anything the United States government can do for anybody. More beneficial than even the government on it. So
people know me, my viewers know me as a very, very atheist person, but I have love for Christian people, especially for minority Christians in Africa and recently I have also told my followers, my Christian followers, go back to your churches, make some kids, at least you will not become Muslim. And this is my stance on this. And Frank, thank you very much for your sermon also for my Christian followers here. I bet they appreciate it very much. And like I said, I have much love for the Christian people. Never had anything bad against me said or done. Thank you for your time and thank you for your knowledge about Nigeria to us, because we are very unknowledgeable about things that is outside of Europe. We are very Eurocentric. Our news are full of how nice Islam is. We never get the critical viewpoint. So thank you very much for that. And thank you for also exposing the Chinese operations going on in Nigeria. Everybody go follow Frank. And we've been live for about 2.5 hours now. And good night, everybody. And thank you for watching us. Frank, do you want to say the last word?
Yeah, good night. Have a very blessed week ahead, and Godspeed.
Godspeed.